What I love about this game, I love the gameplay, I love the graphics, the sound, love the characters, love Marvel Universe, everything Marvel. What I don't like is the direction it's going. It seems you have to pay a lot to keep up or even compete. I've been a top player in this game for a while and I'm falling quickly behind because of people's ability to spend more than me. It used to be you could win all these characters in the arena and their dupe, and everyone else that could not win them would have to wait. I'd like to see more arenas for lower level players where they can have the ability to get a 4-star. Would like to see more 4-stars rewarded, like 750, even up to 1500. There's a lot of people playing this game now. I have no problem with people that spend money on this game, but there needs to be more quality.
I love the variety of characters in it. Seeing all the comic book characters brought to life in a fighting game is really cool. I've always been a fan of the fighting game genre, so seeing them in a game like that was really cool. I love the story quests. I think the story is really interesting with all the plot twists with Kang and Thanos, and then Maestro being the guy behind it. Well, I thought that was really cool, and the boss battles were hard and intense, and I enjoyed that as well. Just generally the game has a nice feel, it runs smoothly as opposed to some other iOS apps, and there's always new updates and new characters being released. Please, if you could, change the arenas, just make them easier for everyone. I have school, I go out on weekends and things like that. My play is limited, and I would love to be able to get more characters and add to my roster and really enjoy this game and immerse in a more whole experience, if you understand me. And I think with the arenas being as hard as they are, 3-4 million for characters, which could take days and days of work and endless amounts of money to get, it's just insane. I would love to see that changed.
What I love about this game is Marvel. I grew up collecting comics, loving all the characters, the development, type of personalities, and seeing them in a game which I can control them. Especially the control of the game is pretty spot on. One of the things I like is the quests, which is a nice bonus to the game, as well as the arenas, the different new arenas and new characters. Those are the things I like about the game, and probably one of the reasons why I fell in love with it. What I dislike about it is, of course, the increasing costs, the money that's spent, that's needed more and more to compete. Especially with a lot more people joining the game, you gotta spend more time and more money in order to succeed in this game, which is starting to be a turnoff. One of the things I would love to see come back is the 5 versus 5 individual competition, which was great. The last time I saw it was in Spider-Man Arena, but I think definitely need more ideas about making the arena more competitive in terms of less time, less money, and catering to the thousands who are joining right now.
Hey guys, Big T here again, and this video is going to be different from the rest of my videos. I've been thinking about how to approach it properly. In the past I've done videos criticizing Kabam. I got to the point though where my anger over the money grab situation wasn't worth the anger I was producing. So this video is going to be as much a tribute video to this game as a criticism of what's going on with some of the policies regarding getting money from the players. Now I don't script any of my videos, so being off the cuff, it might drag at points. I'll try keeping things going as much as possible. First thing I'm going to say is I'm not at the point, I've gotten close, but I'm not to the point of quitting the game. It got a little touchy there when I realized that to be competitive in the arenas, I was going to have to spend money. Now that there's talking, Kabam's talking about changing the arenas to hopefully fix some of this. I'm hoping that's going to happen. Before any criticisms, I'm going to say the game is unique. There's other fighting games on mobile devices, but nothing quite like this game. So the developers, the programmers, pretty much front to back, Kabam is doing it right. There is a portion of the company, though, that has no problem taking advantage of players willing to put money into the game. And anyone else that's played the game, I started playing the game pretty much right when it came out in Canada back in November. I got a little banner on my Facebook page that said, "Hey, Marvel Contest of Champions, try it now." And I'm a big comic fan, mostly Marvel. I'd played Injustice and I didn't like it. It maybe lasted a half hour on my iPad. So I thought I'll give it a try. I expected about the same. I thought I would go in there, try it out, get tired of it, and delete it. I started playing and was crazy about it. This YouTube channel is because of this game. I've tried doing other games and I've done a little bit of this and that, but basically I'm doing these videos for this game. So far my love of the game is outweighing my concerns over what they do as far as getting money from the players. I did a video a while back about the system that they use. It's called Gacha. It's a system, that's what your crystals are, opening crystals, getting rewards. That's a gacha system. Now, it's not the same system that was banned in Japan, but it's designed on the same theory, or it's by design. It's meant to take advantage of a gambler's mentality. Pay, get a big payout, and then you want to pay more. And the guys that have played it from the beginning have most likely noticed how things have changed more towards getting more money. The tier 3 characters don't show up quite as often in the crystals, but now you get an offer to buy a tier 3 crystal after you've opened so many tier 2. And then that offer costs more money. And then after you've opened so many of those 3s, you get a 4, which is very expensive. So it's based on a system of getting you to spend more money. Now, the arenas, they came out with awakening characters, which was kind of nice. You saw that instead of just getting a duplicate character and getting a couple ISO and some gold, it unlocked a power in the character, which was kind of cool. You thought, hey, I'm getting more than I was getting before. But a lot of people didn't notice or didn't really see it the way I saw it. When they came out with the awakened characters, they also doubled the arenas up. Instead of having one 7-day arena, they split it into 2. Now, some people thought, well, that's better because I can spend 3 days, get the character, and then I can take the rest of the week off. But that didn't come out till after Awakening characters came out. So if you wanted the new favorite character that came out, and you wanted that special ability, you had to take part in both arenas. or spend money and open crystals. But there was always the option of spending the 6 days and awakening your character. Now the arenas got to the point where you pretty much had to spend money to get your tier 4. You had to pay for revives. So they were doubling up on their money. Well, they were making money on all 6 days anyways, because you had to pay to win the 4 stars. Now this is the first time since that system was set up that they've got 2 characters. They've got the World War II Captain America and the Iron Patriot, where they're not running a duplicate event. So you could win your 3 or 4 star, spend your money, spend your units, get the guy you wanted, but there wasn't that next arena to awaken him. So you might ask, well, how am I going to awaken this character? Well, they came out with a crystal. Actually, they came out with 2 crystals, and this is also the first time that they've run 2 limited edition crystals at the same time. And not only is it a crystal, it's a crystal that's worth 175 units instead of 100 units that the normal premiums are. It's also the first time your 4-star, the new characters are available in a 4-star. So the guys spending money, we hadn't heard a lot. There was some concern you saw on the forums. The money players, they're willing to put. They've got money. They're willing to put it in. But this seems to have a breaking point, because the guys spending money are realizing, hey, I'm giving you guys hundreds of dollars a month, and you have to all of a sudden say, well, now if you want that awakened character you're spending hundreds of dollars a month to get, you got to spend more hundreds of dollars. You got to open bunches of these limited crystals to awaken these characters. And that's upsetting some of the guys that weren't as upset before. And that's going to be a problem for Kabam, because the guys that are forking over all this money, and right now in the alliance I'm in, and I'm sure in the other alliances, they're dumping money into these crystals. But a lot of the leaders of the alliances are saying, yeah, I've got money, I can spend it. But at some point you expect the company to give something back to the players. And that's not happening. It's not looking good. And like I say, this video, I want this. It's gonna have these criticisms, but like I say, I'm not gonna quit playing the game. But with this, the first crystal that came out for the Iron Patriot, the Patriotic Crystal, I have a guy in one of the chat groups I'm in. I think he watches the videos. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna put him in that spotlight. But basically, he had opened, what was it, 20 some odd crystals. So let's see, that's say 3,000 some odd. So he bought, looks like he bought probably an Odin, maybe a couple Odin's vaults. That was only the crystals that I saw that he'd opened. So let's say he put in two Odin's vaults. So he put in a couple $100. A young guy. And he did score 2 tier 4 characters. Now that was pretty cool. I just figured it's a young guy. He's got money to burn. Why not? Some of these guys have got to. Some of these guys have got to put in the money to take part in some of the game that they're not able to take part in otherwise. But he didn't receive one of the limited edition characters. He got 2 tier 4s, but neither of them were the limited edition. So he would have still have to keep putting more money in to awaken those characters if that's what he was going for. Now, I'm not going to criticize guys putting money in because I came into some back pay and I put in some money. I bought 4 Odin's Vaults and a few units here and there when the crystals popped up and I needed some extra units to buy the limited crystals. So I would say maybe $500, $500 and change. And since I started this account in right at the beginning of March, it was right around my birthday, so let's say around March 8th, March 7th, March 8th. I started this account, and the reason I started the new account was there was a lot of talk about how new accounts got tier 4s a lot easier. I only had a couple three tier 4s in the Hero Sandwich account, and I just wasn't able to compete in the arena to get more tier 4s. I was getting pretty much every tier 3 that came out, but not the tier 4s. So I started up this new account, and almost immediately I got, I think my first guy was Iron Man. No, Hawkeye. From Premium Crystal. Not even, and I wasn't purchasing units at the time, so it was just a reward premium. I got an Iron Man next, again from a reward crystal. And then I won Unstoppable in one of the events. And then I got, I believe, the Hulk in a tier 4 crystal. And then Colossus I got in another earned premium. So I got myself a set of 5 characters, which was cool. Enough for a full quest team, and it was kind of nice because I got every one of them was a different class. So I was very happy with that, but again, that wasn't enough to get into the tier 4 arena and win. I just wasn't keeping up, and I wasn't using recharges, so there wasn't a chance. And even when I tried, I would only win 2 premium crystals. I wouldn't even win the tier 3 crystal. And I think maybe once I earned the tier 3 character. I was normally bottom of the group, and that was spending a lot of time grinding. So I got my back pay. I put, like I say, about $500 right around there into units. And most of those units were spent on crystals. So $500, and my tier 4s blew up. I went from 5 to 17, and I've awakened 5. So that's 17 tier 4 drops in just over 30 days for $500. And in total over since March, I've opened way more crystals in crystals that I've earned and crystals I've bought with earned units. But as soon as I put money in, these tier 4s started showing up. Now I've had someone from Kabam said, no, that's just random. You on a winning streak. It happens. All right, but still, you go months without paying any money, and you kind of languish at the bottom, and you put $500 in, and all of a sudden you're a top guy, or in the top percentile. And now I can easily go into the arenas, Tier 4 arena. I'm still having to pay for recharges so I'm not grinding 24 hours. But I won 2 Scarlet Witches. So I'm earning the Tier 4s. Yeah, so that's. But anyways, I'm like I say, I kind of I'm off script here. So I go off on these tangents. But basically, the guy I'm in the chat group with probably put in a couple $100 worth of his money, and I figured he had the money to spend, so why not? He earned himself a couple Tier 4s, which was good. But what kinda didn't upset me but concerned me was he's in contact with me, and I was, congratulations, good job, you got some Tier 4s, excellent. But what happened was, in his opening of the crystals, he got a Tier 3 offer. And he was short units to buy the Tier 3 offer. And he asked me for $5 so he could get the Tier 3 offer. So this kid, I don't know if he has a part-time job, maybe an allowance, whatever it is, he spent all his money to the point he didn't have $5 left to put in. But he was still wanting to get put in, so he's out. That's an addiction. That's the guy, the drug dealer comes up to the young kid, gives him a piece of crack, next day gives him a piece of crack, the day after gives him a piece of crack, end of the week he says, now you got to start paying me. And that kid will spend every dime on that crack and still go out and panhandle for the rest. So it's concerning. That's not the guy that's got a high-paying job that can throw money, and that's a guy that's blowing all of his money. So that's where that is. I'm going to be putting this on the forums. Basically, what's happening is the top guys from the alliances are now in a chat group together and pushing the other guys in the group to put their voice out in the forums to try getting some of this fixed. The most recent one was about these crystals, that you have to buy the crystals to awaken your character, which is they're not taking that very well, and that should concern Kabam, because the guys that are willing to spend the money are starting to say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be spending any money. Maybe we shouldn't be playing anymore. So that's what I'm going to put this in that crystal offers thread. Post this link if you like this video. I'm not going to monetize the video. I'm going to put a lot of time into the production of this video. I'm going to put a new intro, one-time intro. I'll spend the time on that. I'm going to make it I'm going to do a lot of post work. It might take enough time that maybe I might not get this this Captain America I've been putting time in, but he's not going to get awakened anyways, because they've gotten my money now, and I'm back to no money. The planned boycott is on hold, but what I'm going to do myself is I'm going to, I guess you can't really have a one-man boycott, but I'm going to say, just call it a pledge. I'm not going to buy units at all. I'm done buying units. I'm going to only use earned units in the game, but I'm not going to put any of my earned units into recharges. That's the one thing I've been against, and I admit, now that I'm playing the 4-star arena, I've been recharging my characters. That's stopping. Now that the last Odin's Vault I bought is now down to next to nothing. That's it. And the earned units, I'm not going to support the recharge system. 5 units of recharge just isn't going to happen anymore. Maybe I won't win any characters anymore. That's I guess that's just the way it's going to go. I'm also not going to buy premium crystals or limited edition crystals. I'm not going to buy any crystals with units, period. Of course, I'll buy the arena crystals for my battle chips and the alliance crystals for my alliance points. But I won't be putting any units into crystals, except for I'm just going to let them pool, and then if I get a tier 3 or a tier 4 offer, I'll buy those. Because those, I know I'm getting what I'm going for. 400 units, if I've banked that much and a tier 3 crystal comes up, I'll buy it. 400 units, I've saved them, I know I'm getting a tier 3. Tier 4 offer comes up, and by some miracle I've saved up that many units, I'll buy it. But no more money into units for me. No more recharges. Now, there's a lot of suggestions out there of what to do to fix the system. Now, we can suggest what to do to Kabam till we're blue in the face. But they're not, at this point, it looks like they're not willing to do anything that's going to cut any profit out. So the first thing we need to do is we need to push for Kabam to change their policy on making money. Until they change that, and that's something that just may not ever happen. Most likely won't happen. The rest of it just isn't going to change. They can say, okay, we're changing the arenas. Yeah, you're changing the arenas, but now you're trying to make more money with these crystals. It's a balance of the scales that they're just not willing to fix. Basically, what they need to do, first is take out recharges in the arenas. The arena letterboard is time spent, money spent. Sure, the top guys, most likely they're playing this game enough that they're probably going to be very good players, but they're going to be spending time at the top with guys that aren't that good. I guess you could look at PvP wins, but even then, if I'm not recharging my characters and I've got 10 teams, and each team has 3 guys, that's 30 wins every couple hours. That's winning 3 for 3. The guy winning 2 for 3 that isn't quite as good, or maybe even losing his streak and only getting 1 for 3, or maybe losing altogether. If he puts in hundreds of dollars in units, he can do easily 3 times what I'm doing and win one match a go. And there he has as good a stats as me. He's got 30 wins, I have 30 wins. I did it in 10 fights, he did it in 30 fights. So you got to get rid of the recharges. First thing first. That's bottom line. If you want an accurate letterboard based on skill, you got to get rid of the money. Then you got to say, okay, we have to shape the arena to reflect win-loss. If I spend the day, I'm a working man, kid in school, anybody that can't spend 24 hours on the game, let's say I can only spend 2 hours. I can only get 1 run in a day of my 30 characters, my, say, 10 teams. Now, the guy spending all day, it needs to reflect that he's putting in that time. We're not going to have units. Let's get rid of that, so no worries there. The guy spending the time need to be up higher, but the guy that spends all day, if his win-loss is poor, that should be reflected on the letterboards. If I play 1 round and I get perfect 3 for 3 every round, and a guy spends 2 rounds and loses 1 out of every 3 matches, there needs to be some way to show that. That's not an easy thing to do. Kabam's got to sit down and they got to say, okay, let's shape this arena. Let's work it on a bell curve. Let's do something with percentages. Something. Ditch the points, go for wins. Do something. If they can do that, then you've got an actual competition happening. No money. Now, you might say, well, a company needs to make money to be viable. Easily done. What you do is say you're sticking with the 3-day arenas a week. That gives you 8 arenas a month. Have a 100 unit, that's all you need is 100 units to buy into that arena. Once you've paid your 100 units, then use battle chips for the matches or gold for the matches. Don't use units for the matches. Just your initial 100 units to buy in. Now that's, if I'm Joe Blow spending money, that's that's the Tony Stark briefcase a month. That's $35 a month for a player to enter all of those arenas. That's a pretty good subscription, a monthly subscription. If everybody's got to do that wants to take part in the arenas, you're making money, hand over fist. If the guys don't want to take part in the arenas, then they've got quests. They can still buy their crystals. But the arenas themselves, and actually they go back to the old system. When the game first came out, it was a dedicated currency for the arenas. They could go back to that. So that units for crystals are different than the units used to get into the arenas. You pay for both, but your arenas then become an entity of themselves. That's your pay to play system, is the arena. Or you could stick with units, and then the kid that doesn't have any allowance or doesn't have any money, he can scratch together all of his earned units from milestones and whatnot, questing, the arena chips. He can take all those units, pool them together, and when he has 100, then he's into an arena. If he doesn't have the 100, he's got to pay or he's got to wait. Now that's one opinion. A lot of guys have got a lot of opinions and they're putting them up there. My recommendation is these suggestions. Kabam's going to look at them and they're gonna kind of mull them over. But the big thing is to say, hey, Kabam, enough is enough. It's time to stop money grabbing. Let's figure out a way that I can pay $35 a month to get into the arenas. The arenas are based on win-loss. So as long as I pay my $35 a month and play good, I can win a character. That's all they have to do. Other subscription games make pretty big money. You look at Blizzard. You look at MMOs, subscription MMOs. So there you go. I think that pretty much covers everything. I'm hoping this gets into the ear of Kabam. Hopefully they're watching. Like I say, this is a video that I'm gonna say I love this game. I don't want to quit playing the game. But if not putting the money in is going to make it so that the game isn't enjoyable, then I'm going to have to quit. And I've got a budget. I budget myself for gaming about $35 a month. When I was playing World of Warcraft, I would pay for my subscription, and that would give me money left for mounts and pets and all the little gimmicky things that they had in their store. And then I think I also I had some other games too that I played, or I would buy a game. Kabam can have my $35, but they're only going to get my $35 if I know it's not supporting this system. Like I say, I'm not going to buy units, because when I buy units and I put them into recharges in the arena, which I've been doing, but I gotta quit. If I do that, then I'm supporting that system, which I don't agree with, and I don't know why I started getting hooked into it. I'm going to have to see if I can work it out so I don't have to spend so much time in the arena without units. But like I say, if I stop winning characters without money, then it might be time to step away. So there you go. If you liked the video, hit like. But also, if you agree with what I'm saying, share the video. Like I say, I'm not going to monetize this video. So anyone that's watching this, I'm going to put some music in it. So if you see an ad at the beginning of the video, it's because the song I put in is already monetized by YouTube. So I'm not quite sure until I get into the post what music I'm gonna put in here. But whatever it is, the artist might make some money off of it, and that's good. The guys should make money off of their music. But I'm not going to make a dime off of this. My videos don't make enough that YouTube will only pay you once you've made $100, and I haven't even reached that yet. So the monetization part of the videos isn't a big thing for me. But this one definitely I'm not going to monetize. So get it out there if you agree with it. I've covered quite a bit of stuff. I'm going to put it on that crystal thread that they started up, but I think I covered enough stuff that if you think this video will make a difference, throw it in the threads. And if it shows up enough places, maybe Kabam will take a look at it. I know a couple of the guys from Kabam that I talk to say they watch my videos, so if you guys watch it, share it with your coworkers. Get it to the guys that need to hear this, because I got to tell you, the guys that I've talked to from Kabam, you can tell they love this game. You can tell they love the comic characters. These guys are fans of Marvel. These guys are proud of their work. If anything, I would guess that it's got to be top 75% of that company has got to be hard-working, proud of this game. Probably more. But the small percentage that is doing this to this game, the rest of that, the guys that have that pride in what they've done with this game need to speak up too. Kabam X, whatever your name is, if you watch this video and you're proud of your work, speak out too. Tell the guys at the top office, get your crap together. Stop putting out the BS. Especially the guys that are putting in hundreds of dollars a month now are being asked for more money. That is crazy. Even if you alienated all of the low dollar guys, you're starting to alienate the big dollar guys. So that's my rant. I'm going to stop now. Like I say, this is a one shot. You're not going to see the intro again. Tribute as much as complaint and issues. Keep up the good work. The guys that are making these models, the models look amazing. The game is fun. Just if the guy that's like the Iron Patriot, if the guy that designed the Iron Patriot, he looks awesome. If you're proud of your work, I don't know if your job's on the line, but you need to say, hey, quit screwing up my game. I put in a lot of work in this. So there you go. I'm going to quit now. Get this video out there. Share it. Hit like if you like it. If you dislike it, hit dislike. Let me know. Call me an idiot. I know there's a few guys out there. I get the thumbs downs once in a while. But there you have it. I'll see you on the next one.